Thank you very much and welcome back to Canton, Ohio at this, the 2006 Enshrinement Ceremonies, the Class of 6. He was nicknamed the Big Cat, but there was nothing really catty about the way Rayfield Wright anchored right tackle for the Dallas Cowboys. And that meant that he had to play big in big games against the best that pro football had to offer. His first start for Tom Landry in 1969, imagine this now, first start, you're going to go up against a guy named Deacon Jones. Well, there are a couple gentlemen sitting behind me here that were annual combatants in those tough NFC days. Rayfield would go up against Jack Youngblood and Carl Eller in big game after big game after big game, and they will tell you how powerful and athletic number 70 was. So will his quarterback, Roger Staubach, sitting behind us here as well. He'll be the first to say that all those clutch fourth quarter Cowboy marches were made possible by Rayfield Wright. For Dallas Cowboy fans, 1969 might be remembered as the season quarterback Roger Staubach first displayed his one-of-a-kind athletic ability, or as the year Calvin Hill took over the Cowboys' backfield. But it was also Rayfield Wright's time to show he could be a cornerstone of the Dallas offensive line for years to come. Wright made 3 starts that season, leading head coach Tom Landry to name him starter at right tackle before training camp in 1970. Known as the Big Cat, Wright spent 13 seasons in the NFL, all with the Cowboys. During his career, the Cowboys only missed the playoffs once while winning 10 division titles. Wright would start in 6 NFC Championship games and was one of only 13 players to play in at least 5 Super Bowls, winning 2, Super Bowl 6 and Super Bowl 12. Wright cleared a path for the Hall of Fame careers of Roger Staubach and Tony Dorsett, along with Cowboy legend Calvin Hill, who became Dallas's first 1,000-yard back in 1972. Wright retired from the league after the 1979 season, having played in 166 games, earning a trip to the Pro Bowl for 6 straight years, starting in 1971, and would later be honored as a member of the NFL's all-decade team for the 1970s. Wright's career as a pillar of the Cowboys' offensive line solidifies his place as a member of the class of 2006. Before he had Coach Landry at Fort Valley State, he had this gentleman. To present Rayfield Wright today, his college head coach, L.J. Stan Lomax.
Thank you very much, Chris Berman. Good afternoon, everyone. To Commissioner Tagliabue, Mrs. Opal Wright, and the Wright family, to honorees today and to past honorees, ladies and gentlemen. It is, of course, a very distinct privilege to stand here where permanent tribute is given to the men who have reached the zenith of their profession. Today we come to extol the outstanding career of one of those men, an imposing man of integrity, who once unbelievably failed to make his high school football team at Fairmont High School in Griffin, Georgia. But he later moved on to Fort Valley State University, a great school in an even smaller community, but a caring community, Fort Valley, Georgia. In just a few moments, Rayfield Wright will come to this position. He will come here and he will speak to you, and you will soon find that any continuance of the belief that nice guys finish last can be forever dispelled. The path to this podium is much more than a walk from his seat to this microphone. It is covered with the acceptance of opportunities to contribute. It is filled with challenges to overcome. And it's paved with life's wins and losses. Yes, Griffin, Georgia, Fort Valley, Georgia, Dallas, Texas, each offering different choices. Is your place a small place, tended with care? He set you there. Is your place a large place, guarded with care? He set you there. Whatever your place, it is not yours alone. It belongs to the one who set you there. Rayfield's belief is where we are born, where we grow up, must never determine how high we rise. Could it be that professional football games are played primarily on Sunday afternoons for reasons other than the convenience of scheduling or viewer preference? Today, I have the temerity to believe that there is a spiritual quality about football. The rules of the game suggest it. The history of the game supports it. Hallis, Lombardi, Brown, Landry, all would have divested themselves were that not so. Someone once said, I would rather see a sermon than hear one any day. For more than 12 years, Rayfield Wright, with displays of commitment and determination, delivered his message clearly and emphatically each Sunday afternoon. Primarily, he had two admonitions. One, thou shalt not touch Roger. And the second was, thou must not impede the forward progress of Calvin or Tony. Now on behalf of Governor Sonny Perdue of the state of Georgia, President Larry Rivers of Fort Valley State University, your Wildcat teammates and classmates, many of whom are here today, and your many friends from your hometown of Griffin, Georgia. We salute you, Rayfield, and offer sincere congratulations for this momentous achievement. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my signal honor to present to you the newest inductee into the Professional Football Hall of Fame, number 70, Larry Rayfield Wright.
LJ Stan Lomax, Tom, with the early candidate for line of the day.
Yeah, thou shalt not touch Roger. What a great line.
Thou shalt not impede the forward progress of Tony or Calvin. Well done. Most people don't know this. Rayfield Wright, when he played basketball as well at Fort Valley State, at one time led the nation in rebounding. The Big Cat was indeed a large fourth, whether in football or basketball. Rayfield Wright to the podium.
First of all, I'd like to give praise and thanks to our Father in heaven and through his Son, Jesus Christ, that has given me the ability to play sports. I learned a poem in the 8th grade titled The Road Not Taken. It's about two roads. One was well traveled, The other was grassy and wanted wear. Through this poem, I discovered that life would give me choices. It was recognizing those choices that proved to be the greatest challenge. And looking back, my instinct was to always take the easy road. But the easy road never came my way. You see, I grew up in Griffin, Georgia. My mother and my grandmother raised me, my brothers and my sister. We didn't have much money or any luxuries to speak of. Times were tough, and I recognized at an early age the struggles that we faced. I remember getting on my knees when I was 10 years old beside my grandmother, and I simply asked God something. I asked him if he would just give me the ability that I could do something, that I could help my mother and my grandmother, and I could help other people. My grandmother taught me the power of prayer and what that prayer meant to me. And it's still in front of me today. Back in the 50s, kids in my neighborhood didn't wear $100 tennis shoes and never went to sporting camps. After chores and homework, you'd find us in an empty field playing football, basketball, baseball. We didn't have golf in our community, and if we had, we'd learn how to play that. My brother Lamar taught me the basics of sports. Even then, something in my spirit told me that sports would be my chosen path. But success didn't come my way instantly. In fact, I went out for football in high school, and I couldn't make the team my first 3 years. Now, basketball was a different story. I loved playing basketball, and others recognized my ability and my passion for the game. In fact, Loyola University wanted me to come play basketball for them. But due to financial hardships, I selected a career in the Air Force to serve this great country and to continue my education and play basketball. But as I came to learn, that wasn't God's plan for me. About the same time, a gentleman by the name of Mr. Stan Lomax was hired to coach at Fort Valley State College. Coach Lomax had learned my athletic ability from my cousin, John Willis. And through Coach Lomax's persistence, I was offered an athletic scholarship. Coach Lomax, I thank you for always treating me and believing in me, treating me like a son. And to my cousin, John Willis, I wouldn't be standing here today without you. God bless you, brother. I love you. During my college years, I excelled in both football and basketball. But basketball was still my preferred sport, as I averaged over 20 points a game and 21 rebounds per game. In fact, the Cincinnati Royals tried to sign me my junior year to come and play basketball for them, but I declined that invitation because I needed to stay in school and get my education. And I did just that. And I knew I was headed for the NBA, but again, I found myself traveling yet another road. My senior year, I received a telephone call from a gentleman by the name of Mr. Gil Brandt of the Dallas Cowboys. And he stated that the Cowboys was interested in drafting me. And I asked him, for what? I had my sights set on the NBA, but I realized that potential playing for the Cowboys was a God-given opportunity, and I couldn't ignore it. I decided to attend the Cowboys training camp, which was in July. The Royals camp didn't start till August, and I kind of figured that if I didn't make the Cowboys team, I could go right to the NBA. That year in 1967, the Dallas Cowboys had 137 rookies in training camp. Gil Brandt was signing everybody that could walk. Only 5 made the team that year, and I was one of the 5. I thank you, Mr. Brandt, for giving me the opportunity to play for the Dallas Cowboys. My career started as a tight end. Don Meredith was our quarterback at the time. Recently, I asked Don, I said, Don, if you remember throwing me a touchdown pass against the Eagles. He laughed and said, Rayfield, I wasn't throwing the ball to you. You were just so tall, you got in the way. 2 years later, Coach Landry called me into his office and said, Rayfield, I'm going to move you to offensive tackle. I looked at him and I said, Coach, I never played that position before in my life. He said, I know, but you're quick. You learn fast. Besides, we got a young quarterback coming to the team this year, and his name was Roger Staubach, and he don't stay in the pocket. He run around a lot. And he needs a little bit more protection. But I was never one to question the authorities of elders. And Coach Landry, I believed in his decision, and that was good enough for me. Now, offensive linemen are taught to protect the quarterback the same way that the Secret Service protects our nation president. In this case, Roger Staubach was our president, and the director of the Secret Service was our offensive line coach, Jim Myers. He built an offensive line that was unmatched. And today, I cannot accept this honor without bringing Coach Myers and his offensive line into the hall with me. And that line consists of John Fitzgerald and Tony Liscio and Dave Manners and Ralph Neely, John Nolan, and Blaine Nye. Gentlemen, I'm proud to call myself your teammates, and I share this enshrinement with you. And to our defense, you were the doomsday. And I'm thankful that I only had to face you guys in practice. I remember Coach Landry once telling me that, Rayfield, no matter how many awards or accolades you receive, that you will be never greater than the team. The Dallas Cowboys was a team, and what a team the Cowboys had during the dynamic decade of the 70s. I have 13 years of players and coaches I would like to acknowledge today, but I've been told that I'm not, and not to go into overtime. And we had a lot of shares of playing games in overtime back in the glory days. So you can understand the pressure that I face up here right now. But we played together as a team in 12 playoff games and 5 Super Bowls. Guys, you know who you are. I know who you are. The Cowboy fans around the country know who you are. Always remember that we were winners, and I treasure those moments and memories. Fans always ask me my toughest opponent was, and how tough they were, and who they were. I played against the best. My body still hurts when I hear their names called. But I wouldn't be here today without these great players. Deacon Jones, thank you for your gracious welcome into the NFL. And in case you're wondering, Deke, the answer is yes. My mother knows I'm here. Claude Humphrey, you were a brute, a strong and physical player. L.C. Greenwood, your long arms and quickness made Sunday afternoon a chore. Jack Youngblood, you played with finesse, and I tried always to try and outsmart you. Bubba Smith was a mountain of a man. Carl Eller, Carl, if you ever need a ride from Bloomington to Minneapolis, give me a call, my friend. But this time, I'll drive you in my car. I have some angels here today that are enshrined in the Heavens Hall of Fame. My first angel probably arrived here at 4 o'clock this morning to make sure that everything was in place. That angel is my grandmother, and we called her Big Mama. In essence, Big Mama was my first coach. And I know she's very proud of me. The spirit of my youngest brother, Philip, is also here. He was a great athlete with a big heart. He left this world much too soon. Cowboys fans will give the next angel a warm welcome because he is Coach Tom Landry. However, you may not recognize him today because he's smiling. Thank you, Coach Landry, for your inspiration on and off the field. On the sideline was Coach Ernest Stoutner, our distinguished defensive coach. Next to Coach Landry and Coach Stoutner are 2 Cowboy legends, Harvey Martin and Bob Hayes. Harvey was one of the most accomplished defensive ends to ever play the game. and Bully Bob Hayes forever changed the game of football. Harvey and Bob, my hope and prayer is that someday you will both join me into and inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I've had many mentors in my life who always said, let honor and success come to you only if it's deserved, not because it's sought after. Being enshrined today is indeed an honor, and I extend my gratitude to the selection committee for nominating me, with special thanks to Mr. Rick Goslin of the Dallas Morning News. Some say that patience is a virtue. After 22 years of eligibility, God knows that I'm not a saint, but I am a Dallas Cowboy. And today I acknowledge my 2006 inductees. I'm privileged to be in a stellar class. I would give thanks and shout to our troops who are protecting this great nation. May God keep you safe. To thank everyone who is playing and who has played a vital role in my life would take me 60 years. So I'll try to keep it brief. I wish to tip my helmet to the Dallas Cowboys fans, especially the ones who remember my playing days and America's team of the 70s. To the Bob Hayes family, I thank you for your support and continued support over the years. To my former teammates, the ones who are here today, and to those who have reached out to me over the past several months. I love you guys, and I thank you. To Miss Jeanette DeVeda, the co-author of my book, and my friend, thanks for keeping me real. To my classmates and teammates from Fairmount High School and Fort Valley State College, we are connected through the gifts of education and knowledge. To my uncle, my aunts, my cousins, to everyone in Griffin, Georgia, you are a vital link to my past and a solid bridge to my future. To Mr. David Walker, my Boy Scout master, who always taught me to be prepared. To my brother Lamar, my sister Earlene, my children Lorraine, Anitra, Larry, Ariel, and my grandchildren, Asia and Taylor. You nourish my souls, and I love you from the bottom of my heart. And to my mother, Mrs. Oprah Wright, from the day I was born, you watched me take the road less traveled. Mom, you are my rose garden. You watered each day with your love, with your faith, and with your prayers. Your roots are deeply instilled in me, and your soul is so beautiful. In spite of all the painful thorns that life has put in your way. Now, parents, teach your children well. Encourage them with your faith and leadership. Remember that you are the windows through which your children see this world. take notice of yourself and the things that you do in hopes that your example will stir their hearts and souls. To every young athlete within the sound of my voice, it takes courage to dream your dream. Don't let them sit in the locker room. Take a leap of faith. Listen to your parents and respect your elders. Learn from your successes and your losses. Defeat as possible and as a challenge to do better next time. Be satisfied you gave the game everything that you had. And remember, this, and don't be afraid to travel the road less traveled, because Larry Rayfield Wright did, and you can too. May God bless you, and may he keep you, and may his countenance shine down upon you and give you peace. God bless you. I love you.
An amazing speech by Larry Rayfield Wright, the big cat. He isn't an angel, but he is a Dallas Cowboy, and today he's enshrined forever in the Professional Football Hall of Fame here in Canton, Ohio.